Hey, welcome back to Dawson's Film Corner. Dawson, obviously, and today we're talking about Jaws. This year makes its 50th anniversary, so I thought it was only fair to do the movie. Also, thought it'd be a good kind of first horror movie to do. I have a couple back here, but I just thought this one would be a little easier to get into, and I thought the anniversary would make a good reason to do it. Some people don't consider this a horror movie. I guess I kind of get that, but I consider it a horror movie just because it shares a lot of aspects with horror movies. My main reason for thinking that is because there's like one or two. I know there's for sure one jump scare in the movie. I think there's two actually, and just the blood and the gore. It's not a lot until the very end, which is probably how they kept it a PG rating somehow. Uh, that's kind of why I consider it a horror movie, just because it shares those elements. But overall, I mean, this is a classic, obviously. Directed by Steven Spielberg, and the score is done by John Williams. Iconic duo there. Speaking of iconic, there's so many iconic scenes from this movie. Like the opening scene of the girl getting attacked by the shark. I mean, everyone knows that scene, everyone knows the music. I mean, this movie in general, which it also was the first blockbuster, uh, it's just completely iconic. Multiple scenes I just find very iconic. The scene during the first shark attack during the day, where the camera zooms in on Chief Brody as the kid's getting eaten. Uh, that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. My favorite shot in the whole movie, I should say. And something else, cinematography in this movie is great. Another iconic scene is they're all into the town hall, and Quinn scratches his nails to get everyone's attention on the chalkboard. I think everyone knows that scene. Uh, then another iconic scene is when Chief Brody is chucking the chum off the boat and the shark comes up and he walks backwards into the cabin of the boat and says, "We need a bigger boat." I think that's the most iconic scene of this entire film. Other than the ending where he shoots the shark. I'm not worried about spoilers, this movie's 50 years old. If you've not seen the movie, I'm sorry. Again with the ending. Tells the shark to smile and shoots the air tank in his mouth. Huge explosion. I can only imagine how fun that was to shoot that scene during that day of filming. Which, if you know anything about the behind the scenes of this movie, they had tons of issues with the mechanical shark. Kind of similar to Jurassic Park, where they had tons of issues with the mechanical T-Rex. I guess this just kind of happens when you mix water with animatronics. The soundtrack of this movie is amazing. Obviously, it's made by John Williams. It's hard for it not to be good, especially the theme. Everyone knows the Jaws theme, but I think it does a really good job as well. There's a lot of moments when they're in the second half of the movie, when they're on the boat. There's these moments of silence in between all these moments of chaos, and I think this really portray kind of how that would be very well. I kind of like the foreshadowing on Quinn's death when he's speaking about the USS Indianapolis sinking, and he was one of the survivors, and a bunch of them got eaten by sharks, and then in the end he got eaten by the shark. Talking about characters, Chief Brody's character, I thought they portrayed him very well. I think they did a good job of portraying him as an actual family man. Some movies they do an okay job of that, but I thought this was a really good example of a genuine family man that's genuinely worried about his family and the people around him. And it's also nice he overcomes his fear of the water to finally put an end to the shark. I can't explain the whole movie. I mean, the whole movie's great. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. But if you ever thought about getting this movie on Blu-ray or 4K, it's definitely worth the upgrade. Mostly because it was shot on 35mm originally. And I don't know enough about the whole process to go through it. But whatever they do to scan it into Blu-ray or 4K, it's just definitely worth the upscaling. Just looks better. It probably will look really good on 4K, especially if you have TV capable of like HDR10 or Dolby Vision. I don't really know what kind of disc it is, but if you ever thought about upgrading it, it's definitely worth the upgrade. I think that's it. I kind of knew I was going to talk about today. I'm gonna try taking notes from now on. Maybe I can be a little less scatterbrained and actually share some of my actual thoughts. But anyway, hope you all have a good one.